U.S. midfielder Paul Arriola left with Honduras Ever Alvarado during the draw on Tuesday. Rebecca Blackwell, Associated Press. San Pedro Sula, Honduras. When the Honduran goalkeeper Luis Lopez Darvan punched Kellen Acosta's free kick up in the air in the 85th minute, Matt Bessler used the outside of his foot, the only part that would have kept the ball in play, to flick it back across the goal mouth. Jordan Morris, the most industrious player for the United States men's national team on a scorching Tuesday afternoon here, jumped in next to keep the play alive, leaping to head it toward a thicket of Honduran defenders. The ball proceeded to fall fortuitously to the feet of Bobby Wood. Amid the scramble, Wood, who had come on as a late substitute, did not allow the gravity of his circumstance, the late moment, the team's star standing in World Cup qualifying, cloud his head. He maintained only a single thought. "Just finish the play," Wood said. Pretty simple. Wood's opportunistic goal off a mad scramble not only rescued an unlikely point for the United States in a 11 tie with Honduras, it may have also rescued the World Cup hopes. By virtue of the draw, the Americans remain in control of their own fate in qualifying in the CONCACAF region. But it is a narrow path. Anything other than a victory over Panama in its next match, October 6 in Orlando, Florida, could leave the United States needing help. Bobby Wood 9 after scoring the tying goal for the United States in the 85th minute. Rebecca Blackwell, Associated Press. The U.S. players indeed looked in need of help near the end of an exhausting afternoon, playing under 91-degree heat and stifling humidity, in which the home team, with World Cup designs of its own, was urged on by a fervent crowd that packed Estadio Olimpico on what had been declared a national holiday. Rommel Quioto's 27th-minute goal, which came after he burst past the back line to receive a through pass before kissing a shot off the post and into the net, sent the crowd into delirium. As the Americans pressed in the second half, sending greater numbers forward, they survived several chances by Honduras that would have sealed the outcome. In the waning moments, though, the Americans summoned the resolve. "This is what qualifying is all about," said Michael Bradley, the U.S. midfielder and captain. "There are so many days when it's not pretty. Honestly, in a lot of moments, it has nothing to do with football. It's about finding a way to survive and dealing with everything that gets thrown at you. Having a group that can hold up in the toughest moments." The United States salvaged a tie, leaving it with 9 points, the same as Honduras, although the Americans have the tiebreaker in goal differential, and 1 point behind Panama, which defeated Trinidad and Tobago late Tuesday night. The Americans are still in a precarious position in the bid to qualify for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. The fourth-place finisher in CONCACAF proceeds to a two-leg playoff against a team from the Asian Confederation to reach the World Cup. United States midfielder Michael Bradley after his team fell behind 10 in the first half at Honduras. Rebecca Blackwell, Associated Press. The United States has not been in such a spot in qualifying since 1989, when it had to win at Trinidad and Tobago in its final qualifying match to claim its berth in the World Cup in Italy a year later. That started a run of consecutive World Cup appearances that only a handful of countries, Brazil, Argentina, Germany, Italy, Spain and Korea, can match. The United States, as it has grown as a soccer country, has done so in the forgiving CONCACAF region, which it has mostly dominated along with Mexico over the last 25 years. While countries like England, France and the Netherlands have missed out on qualifying, the United States has eased through qualifying mostly unharried. But the way the United States has played of late, losing by 20 at home to Costa Rica on Friday and then escaping with a point on Tuesday, seemed to knock any hubris right out of coach Bruce Arena. "The door for Russia is not even cracked open right now," Arena said, holding his thumb and forefinger together for effect. "There's a lot of work to be done to get to Russia. Some of it was done Tuesday." When the United States retreated to the locker room at halftime, Arena told his players he did not like the body language after Quioto's goal, that they appeared to have dropped their heads. Rommel Quioto, second from right, sprints away in celebration after his goal gave Honduras a 10 lead in the first half. Johan Ordóñez agents. France Press. Getty Images. Arena had overhauled the starting lineup, changing 7 players and leaning heavily on players based in Major League Soccer, who he said were in better shape at this point in the soccer calendar than European-based players, whose seasons were just beginning. While none of the changes had the desired result, Arena took a chance with about 30 minutes left in the second half, removing his two outside defenders, Graham Zusi and DeMarcus Beasley, who had been repeatedly overrun by Quioto and Albert Ellis on the flanks. Arena shifted to a three-man back line, with Jeff Cameron coming on to join Omar Gonzalez and Bessler. In the 73rd minute, he sent on Wood, a forward who started in Friday's loss to Costa Rica, to replace midfielder Darlington Nagbe. When asked what he wanted out of Wood, Arena said to score a goal. Wood concurred, "That's my job. Coming in as a sub, you always want to change the game some way. I want to help the team as much as possible." As the United States steadily pushed more players forward, with the substitute Paul Arriola on the wing and Bradley in the middle, it still managed few good chances. As the clock reached 75 minutes and then 80, the players on the field said they did not consider what might happen if they did not score a goal. But the thought did go through the mind of their coach. "I was thinking," Arena said, "we might have an early vacation at the end of the year." A version of this article appears in print on September 6, 2017, on page B8 of the New York edition with the headline "US keeps a play, and its hopes, alive."